So, all right, guys. So, hey there, dream team. All right. So I totally like randomly messaged Elizabeth and Rosie was like, hey guys, can you jump on a call with the team and can we chat about success starters? And both of them just graciously said yes, even though I totally threw them on the spot at the last minute. Like, did I ask you last night?
Yeah, I think that was,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it was last night. It was last night. So thank you for being so willing to jump on here and chat. I just know that, you know, being two people that have literally just earned their ticket to Coach Summit, being a couple of months into the business, and just that newness of, what it's like to be in the trenches, sort of building your business. I feel it is other people just, it's so relatable. And I also know that, and I don't know if you guys realize this, but most people don't hit Success Club their first 3 months in a row. Like, it's a big deal. It's a big accomplishment. And what I find that sort of happens with coaches is one of two things, like they come in out of the gate and they start super strong. They run out of their whole warm market in month one. They sign up their husband, they sign up their best friend, they sign up their mom, and then they just stop. And they realize like, oh, this takes a little bit of work, and they're met with some objections and some rejection in the process, and their posts maybe stop doing as well. And so there's that sort of that frustration level. And so as new coaches that are actually going through that, I just would love to kind of unpack that and give people that are right now in the process of either month one, month two, month three, or whatever month that they're in, maybe they're hitting some roadblocks. I would like to kind of talk about that. So we're going to keep it short. We're not going to talk for a long time. We'll keep it to about 20 minutes, but let's start out by Elizabeth and Rosie. Will you guys each briefly introduce yourselves and just kind of maybe give us like just a short backstory on who you are, why you became a coach, what kind of brought you to the business opportunity?
cool. So I am going to be 40 this year. So I feel like I'm focusing on defying 40. But aside from that, I'm a mom of 3. I'm in my second marriage. I'm a part-time hairdresser. I a full-time mom at home outside of that, and I love that. But I needed something for me, and I fell in love with Beachbody and the workouts and the nutrition because it was real and sustainable. I love what the company stands for. I love the community of Beachbody, and that was something that I was really craving, and I knew that I wanted to draw more women into it just like me. And that was my whole purpose and reason why I wanted to start coaching.
Rosie?
Awesome. Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Rosie Zuno, and I'm in California. I live in San Diego. I am a mom of 3. I just had a new baby 4 months ago. I waited 17 years to have another baby, so it's been really tough for us. And I became a coach shortly after I had my baby. And I was just so eager to get in and get back to dialing my nutrition and feeling like myself again after the pregnancy. And I'm not young anymore. I'm 43. So it was a really tough pregnancy. And I just thought, okay, well, I was a Beachbody coach before. I was a discount coach before. And this time around, with my new baby, I think that's like what's really driving me right now. I want to stay home with my baby. I'm a real estate agent, and I just don't want to go back to working out there, and leaving my baby. So that's what's really is motivating me right now to not just to help people, but also to help myself and our family. And I really love Beachbody products too. I strongly believe in, all the new nutrition programs that are coming out, like the UPF, and I'm just so excited about those, and been talking a lot about those in my IG stories, and just really love everything that's going on, with the company, and just want to share it with everybody.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what I hear, and I'm just going to unpack this because, I hear objections all day, every day when it comes to the coaching opportunity. You're both 40. And I hear a lot of people say like, oh my gosh, like, am I too old to build a business? Is it only for the young people? Right. So clearly, no matter what age that you are, you can build an incredible business, and you just had a baby. So Rosie, like, that's incredible, right? So you both have come from different perspectives. But what I really hear is there's this belief, right? There's this belief factor in what you both are doing. So, so was Success Club in month 1, was it easy for you, or like kind of like walk us through like how did you hit Success Club the first month that you were a coach?
For me, I was terrified about messaging people, talking about my story. Being vulnerable is not my thing. Talking on this call is still a little bit nerve-wracking for me. But I like feeling more comfortable with it, so I'm doing it. Month 1 was not easy. I signed up my husband because I heard that was a smart thing to do, and it made me feel comfortable. And outside of that, I don't have family to rely on to like, give me that extra, like, Mom, just do it because I need you to do it. She won't even drink Shakeology. So I gave her some packets and she's like, I'm just not ready. So I feel like my family's coaching me through objections.
Yeah.
So I just really had to implement everything that we've been taught, which is, okay, just invite and put yourself out there and message people that were interested in what I was putting out on Facebook or Instagram. I just kind of put myself out there to get the no's and hopefully get a couple of yeses. And I ended up getting Success Club 6 my first month. So that's okay. My daughter's popping in the car. It was work. It was a lot. And I think I sent out about 75 invites.
Mom, did you take my
Wow. So 75 invites, and you got 3 people in your first month. Yeah. Well, actually 2, because 1 was your husband.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's important, is like 76 invites for 2 people, right? So that's a lot of invites in that process, right? So what did you sort of learn in that first month?
This wasn't easy. And that I just hoped that I was going to change people's minds, and that the more that I was going to be consistent on social media, that maybe that's what they needed to see from me. So it was no for right then, but not necessarily forever. And I remember the first time that I heard about Beachbody, I just thought, no way. I just kind of shelved it for a long time. So I knew that was a reality for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do you handle when you get so many no's? How did you keep your confidence up? How did you keep from getting discouraged?
Personal development was huge. That was something that I really listened to your recommendation to, the National Wake Up Call. That's something that was talked about in our vital behaviors. So I take that seriously. And I know that I need that for myself regardless. So I've been enjoying getting into that. But I also found that there's 3 other coaches that I become friends with, and I lean on them too. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm dealing with right now. And sometimes just expressing those frustrations or worries or concerns is helpful to just put it out there and then be able to move past it.
Yeah, that's good. That is really good. Okay, so let's ask Rosie the same questions, right? So can you walk us a little bit through your first month? Easy, hard? Walk us through what you went through.
So my first month, I was about 4 weeks postpartum. So it was hard for me. And I just, I remember doing a group text to my sisters and my sisters-in-law. And I just, I told them that I was getting ready to go to bounce back and from postpartum, and I was going to dial in my nutrition, and I was just very pumped and excited. And I remember sending that group message, and immediately like 2 people told me, yes, we want to do it. And it was right after the new year too. So that helped a lot. And, like it happens, conversations going back and forth. One ended up not doing it. I only had one person that signed up. And then I signed up my husband as a coach. I think I became Emerald that first month, because I've been doing a lot of trainings and watching the coach calls that you do, Melanie. And I know that, becoming Emerald was one of my goals because of the leads, the Beachbody leads. And so that was a goal that I had right away. So I signed up my husband. I signed up, my son also signed up as a coach. And then my sister purchased a challenge pack. So that's how I reached Success Club on the first month.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't easy.
Okay.
I think, and also, the season I'm in right now, like it was tough. But I did rely on, my family for the first month. But then, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. And so it's like, it is tough, so for you, like, even as you're saying to yourself, gosh, I'm not getting a lot of sleep. It's broken sleep. And, I'm also trying to lose the weight, but I'm also trying to build this business because I know that, I want to have this different life. So how do you keep from getting discouraged, or how did you sort of keep yourself in a routine of consistency, even when your life was sort of chaotic?
Personal development. Like, I'm literally like feeding my baby, and I have my ear plugs on, or listening to personal development. I listen to your podcast and audible books. Just like personal development has been huge for me. Like when I'm discouraged, when I'm ready to give up. Like I remember last month, the third month. On week 3, I think, no, week 2 of the month, I was like, okay, I'm at 0 and I really haven't been inviting. So I need to get my game on and start inviting. So I started inviting people, and I had a bunch of people that didn't reply or didn't answer, but most of the people did started conversations. And then I had 3 people that purchased, and so yeah, I've learned a lot these past couple months, especially, sometimes like and you talk about it all the time, like don't be afraid of, if you feel like you're selling, then people are going to, they feel like when you're trying to force something. And a lot of times too, you don't want to, I remember sending a message to a person, and she said, well, I do want to buy the BOD, the Beachbody on Demand as well. And I thought it was going to be expensive for her, but she didn't have an issue with price. And here I was like not offering that to her because I thought it was going to be expensive.
Yeah.
And oh, wow. Like there's just so much to learn, when you start.
Yeah. So you were actually overthinking, like you were anticipating the no. And so you just didn't even offer it. Interesting. So did you stop? Was that kind of like a moment where you're like, no, I got to lead with the challenge pack first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then as we talked more, like I realized that, okay, well, price is not an objection for her at all. So she told me she was interested in the Beachbody on Demand and the UPF challenge pack with Shakeology. So she paid the $245.
Wow.
And, that wasn't an issue for her, but I thought it would be.
Yes.
So, it's just like you learn as you go.
Yeah, you really do. So do you both, okay, so social media is such a big part of what we do, right? And so do you feel like, what do you feel were some of the things, like even just social media wise, if you could give advice to people watching, what do you feel helps people actually pull the trigger and say yes? Like what kind of posts that you have done have helped and what hasn't worked? And I'll let you both sort of answer that.
So for me, that was something that I was thinking about recently, because for February, I got 12 Success Club points. And
Mm-hmm.
I really was like, oh my gosh, I didn't really feel like I had to work hard at it because I was just sharing stuff that was happening in our challenge group. I was sharing my transformation. I was sharing my husband's transformation. I was just kind of genuinely putting out information as I was coming across it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I would invite, and some people would just say, no thanks, or not respond. But I felt like I was getting obviously a lot more yeses that month. And that was definitely the biggest, I think, change that I saw. And I feel like I focused initially more on Instagram, and I have now tried to balance that out. I'm also on Facebook a lot more. For me, I noticed that I'm getting a lot more interaction on Facebook. So I'm trying to do work on both, but right now that's where I'm at with
Yeah. So a lot of sharing your journey. So just very openly talking about, like, just giving more advice. Like, this is what I'm packing. This is how I'm prepping. Like, I always see your prep videos, and I always see like your meal planning stuff. Like, that really lets people know, oh, she actually is going to teach me this when I join her challenge group, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Just showing other people's results outside of mine, because not that I didn't have a transformation. I talk about, you know, I did have a physical transformation, but mine's been more of an emotional one.
Mm-hmm.
And some people want to see physical transformations, and they don't want, I think they believe seeing other people, not just yours. So that was the one thing that I heard from one of my challengers, is like, I never saw, you know, these kinds of results before. So
Yeah.
it was the light bulb moment, like, oh, okay, and I need to do more of this.
Right.
Share just other people's experiences along with mine, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. What about you, Rosie?
Yeah, for me, I feel like, so I'm only using Instagram for now.
Okay.
Facebook, I'm kind of like not very active on Facebook, although I do have a like page, and I do want to go back to, I didn't want to mix real estate and you know, nutrition coach, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
health and fitness. And I just, yeah, so Facebook, I didn't want to work too much on there. So I'm just focusing on Instagram and really just sharing everything on Instagram, especially IG stories, and doing the polls. That helps a lot. And yeah, just sharing a lot of, you know, my workouts and how I feel. Like, I really didn't have a transformation too before. Like, I didn't have a ton of weight to lose, but I did have, I suffered from high cholesterol. So I even, like, one time I shared my results, you know, my medical results, and how the Ultimate Reset helps. Like, that was the first time I used Beachbody products. And I wish I had taken more photos, but I didn't. Because, you know, even though I didn't have a lot of weight to lose, you can still see, you know, the difference when you do the Ultimate Reset.
Yeah.
And so just sharing a lot about how I feel, how, you know, when I was working full time and going to school and not eating junk food, how that made me feel, and now what clean eating is doing for me, and people see. And also, like, a lot of people don't respond to the polls, or don't, you know, they don't comment, but they're watching. Like, people are watching, and when you message them, they're like, it's kind of an easy yes. And I'm like, wow, that was easy. But then I think about, like, well, they've been watching my stories, you know, they've been pretty engaged. So
do you message the people that were watching your stories? Is that what you were doing?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I've been messaging people that are, and sometimes I just say thank you for watching my story, you know, and have a good day, or, you know, just whatever, like, just being very, like, friendly and not trying to push the sell or anything like that.
Yeah. So how do you guys transition from, like, thank you for watching my stories into an invite, or like, how did that kind of look for you guys?
I try to find some sort of commonality, and I know that you've touched on that. I think I've
Mhm.
heard other coaches talk about that. Before I message them, I look on their page and see what our common interests are. And I will say, actually, I just messaged someone yesterday. She has started a sugar cookie business, and legit, those are my favorite. I love sugar cookies.
Uh-huh.
And I know that she offers a cookie decorating class. So I just said, thanks for watching my stories. And, I see that you own a bakery and you offer these cookie decorating classes. She's not responded back, but I
Yeah.
don't feel like, hey girl, because I feel like that's what everyone has been
Mhm.
hearing. So
Yeah.
I use their name, like,
Mhm.
hey, so and so. So it's still the same approach, but if I'm using their name, I feel like it's more genuine, and then I'm following it up with like something more personal.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
sometimes it sparks a conversation and sometimes it doesn't. And then I'll try it again, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't know.
Good. All right. What about you? And you, Rosie, you said you do the same thing, right?
Yes, I do the same thing. And I just like a simple, like, how are you? Or how's your day going? And then we start just talking. If these are people that I don't have like that I haven't been in we haven't talked before, I just ask questions like, um, are you also on your health? Like a lot of things that that you teach us. Like, are you
Yeah.
also on your health and fitness journey? And, just want to know a little bit more about what
Yeah.
they like, or what interests them from my stories. And
I love it. I love
yeah.
it. Okay, so last two questions. What advice can you give to a coach, like practical advice to somebody that hasn't hit Success Club yet in their business, that wants to hit Success Club this month?
um don't count anybody out.
Mhm.
I last month had somebody that I thought, that conversation was dead in the water. She said that she was doing Weight Watchers with her mom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed the boat. And I was shooting myself in the foot about it because I just thought I was giving her the space. And
Mhm.
then I didn't expect her to already pull the trigger on something else. And then literally I was at dinner Friday night with my husband and some friends, and she messaged me and she's like, I think I really want to do this with you. And she showed me a snapshot of a UPF challenge pack kit. I'm like, wait a second. So I stopped dinner. I probably looked really rude to my friends, but it was just one of those things. I probably should have just asked more questions, but I didn't make her feel bad. I was just like, oh, okay, I get it, and I just kind of left it at that. And then she came back to me, and I don't know if it's because I didn't push her. I wasn't,
Mhm.
like Rosie mentioned before, like I wasn't trying to push the sell. I was just trying to be genuine about helping her. So
I love it. I think that's the thing. Like, if people feel like they're being sold to, if they feel like the only reason you're having a conversation is to sell them something, people put up a wall. But if you come at it from an angle of, I'm just going to start new conversations because I know that's the first step, and I might not make a sale in this conversation, but at least now that conversation has started. And then it's like the frequency. Don't you agree? Like, having those conversations every single day over time sort of is what compounds. And then people do they're ready at a certain point to actually purchase, but you're not rushing that along.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
What about you, Rosie? What's a piece of advice you could give to somebody that has never hit Success Club but wants to?
I think uh, inviting is so important, and that's something that I wasn't doing, and I don't know, I was afraid of the rejection, and I don't know why. I've been in sales for years, and I thought it would be easy for me to, okay, if they say no, I know it's not because of me, or it's probably just not the right time for them, but I
Yeah.
just was not inviting, and so my third month, that's when everything came a lot faster and easier for me. I wasn't at the end of the month like trying, like, okay, who am I going to invite so that they can um, purchase a challenge pack. So just not being afraid of inviting. Just invite people, and if you get discouraged, just personal development so important. Like every single day, like we have to be feeding our mind with positive message, positive information so that we don't get discouraged. Rejection is not cool, but I guess, some people are not ready. Some people have to think about it or some people it's just not the right time. Maybe next month they will join. But I think inviting is huge for me. I've learned that, okay, I have to invite.
I love it. I love it. And do you guys both use your trackers? Do you guys use a tracker?
Oh, I do. I start and then I'm like, okay, every week I'm like, I didn't even finish filling it out, but I'm doing the activities. I just don't get to complete the tracker.
Yeah. But you're
one day I'll get everything.
Yeah. But at least you're doing the right activities, so that's good. That's good. Perfect. Okay, so I think number one, like to kind of wrap things up, because I've kept you on here a little bit too long, but I appreciate that you shared, but I also want them to know, like, okay, you've hit Success Club your first 3 months. Where are you going to go from here? What's your next goal that you've set for yourself?
I am really working on becoming Diamond before Summit. Okay. So that's my next goal. And that's something that I'm challenged with, because it's, again, inviting to now something different. Yes. So, but I'm getting more comfortable and I'm not giving up, but just part of the process,
Absolutely. Yeah. Good. Okay. So Diamond by Summit. I love it. And Success Club. You'll just keep on rolling right along. What about you, Rosie?
Same. Diamond by September.
Okay.
I gave myself a little bit more time. I also thought about Summit, but then I'm like, okay, no, I need to be more realistic. There's a lot of things going on right now. But definitely becoming Diamond. Just focusing on helping people and sharing, and those are. And I also do want to improve my leadership skills, because I do want to grow my team. So there's just a lot of things that I feel like I need to focus on. But yes, definitely growing my team is what.
I love it. I love it. And honestly, this is like the foundation. I always look at Success Club like you're building your solid foundation. And once you get in the habit of hitting Success Club, you become more confident. It happens a little faster. And then you can just easily add the next layer of, okay, well, I've been inviting to challenge groups, so it's time for me to put the business opportunity out there. So Diamond can happen, pretty fast if you're intentional. It's kind of like the same intention you put into hitting Success Club every month will also just kind of flow right into the next goal. So, guys, thank you for giving us your time tonight. I hope everybody that listened in live, drop a comment, let them know what your takeaways were. Feel free to ask questions in the comments on Facebook. But just so that you guys see, like, Elizabeth and Rosie are just like the rest of us, right? They had a lot of objections at the beginning. They talked about the number of people that they had to invite to get their first 3 people. And then just to know, like, that momentum, did you notice, like Elizabeth said, she hit Success Club 12 in month 2 because of the foundation that she laid, right? It wasn't that she got lucky. It was that, holy cow, she invited all those people, and then that's what sort of flowed into it. And then it will just continue to flow for both of you and for everybody if you have that mindset. It is consistency over time is what's going to produce the results. And as people watch you, they will come around and decide that now is the time. So, don't be afraid to share. Don't be afraid to post on social media, and don't be afraid to send those invites, right? All right, ladies, thank you so much for your time tonight. I hope you guys enjoy your evening, and I will see you guys later.
Great. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye. Take care.